Okay, let's today talk about the leadership, an issue that is absolutely central to our ability to thrive in the world of increasing complexity and accelerating change. Let me start with the big picture. Since humans first banded together on the East African plain Icon Age, evolutionary selection has primarily operated on groups, not individuals. Teams win or lose, companies succeed or fail, and nations empire rise and fall. For this reason, good leadership is critical to survive and thrive. Every organization must competency execute four processes. Three of them are relatively easy and first one. Strategy is about sense making and design. The former seeking to identify the key elements in the situation facing an organization, how they are related, and how they are likely to evolve in the future. The result is assumption that forms basis for designing process, determine how to achieve desired goals with available means. Second one, execution. Execution implements this strategies design by developing objectives, metrics, plans, budgets, processes and systems and organization and mechanisms to provide feedback and drive adaptation. Finally, risk management ensures survival of identifying, assessing risk and uncertainties, providing warnings of adverse changes, mitigating and transferring losses, exposure and strength, organization resilience and adaptive capabilities. However, excellent strategy, execution and the risk management alone won't deliver the survival and success. They need leadership to integrate and animate. But just what is leadership about? At the most basic level, we need to distinguish between dominance and leadership. In some groups, dominant individuals will seize the power and assert control. This is the world of animals, herd, of polarization and dictatorship, and mafia herd. However, while this situation all make for the great television, dominance isn't leadership. Rather, over years, I become more focused on the nature of the leadership as a relationship, as a honor that bestow upon a person by followers who are willing to place their trust in them. The key question thus becomes, what are the qualities in the person that cause others to trust him or her with the leadership of the group? Frame this way, the question becomes like applicable to hunter-gatherer group on East Africa, Savannah Icon Age, as it is a military, government, non-profit or corporate group today. Based on my studies and experience over the years, I have concluded a simple model captures the three key traits people require in order to bestow and mentor of leadership of someone. First, people look for integrity, confidence that people will do right, the best interest of the group in mind, even when that not being a leader or self-interest. As a practitioner, the integrity is embodied in the leadership leader. For example, leaders with integrity are comfortable letting people more talented than themselves to the team. And when things go wrong, they take responsibility rather than throwing subordinate under the proverbial bus or blaming failures on unforeseeable events. Make no mistakes. Leadership is an honor that often requires sacrifice. Second one, people look competency. A leader must have a skill to assess the situation and either direct, take or indirect organization. The sequence decisions and action required to ensure the group survival and achievement in the larger scope. A leader also needs to be a perform under pressure, to be resilient when adversely surprised, and to have grit and persistence to overcome obstacles. Finally, a leader has to strike an appropriate balance between optimism needed to inspire their team and the hubris and overconfidence that leads to failure. And third, a leader must have the empathy for the people who have entrusted him or her with the leadership of their group. Leaders authentically care about the people. You can't fake this. Evolution has endorsed. Leadership authentically care about the people. Evolution has endowed people with very strong ability to tell the difference between leaders who are authentic and leaders who are putting on an act. For example, leaders with empathy don't hesitate to liberally share credit for their team success. And while they praise in public, they only criticize in private and only do so when they can provide constructive coaching and advice. So far so good, but I'm sure some of you think that there is still something missing in the instruction leadership. I agree. There is one last element, and it is critical. My father used to say there are three things in the person leaves behind when they die: their children, their creation, and the impact of the action. And when you are on your deathbed, looking back on your life, action that serves a higher purpose than the maximum your own wealth and pleasure will look painfully small and insignificant. Most people know, either specifically, intuitively, want to be a part of collective purposes that is larger than their own pleasure, that gives meaning to their life and passage of time. This is last aspect of the leadership. The ability to define the noble purpose of the group and to give meaning to every individual effort. Because I like to be easier and the world. What is essence of the good climate that promotes trade and gives birth to high performance work? It is probably easy to feel and sense than to describe. It doesn't take long for the more experienced people to take it measure. There is pervasive sense of mission. There is a common agreement on what are the top priorities. There are clear standards. Competence is prized and appreciated. There is willingness to share the information. There is a sense of fair play. There is joy to teamwork. There are quick and convenient way to